Hey, good day to you. This is Todd. I am a regular dude walking in the Word. Today we're going through Leviticus chapter 9. We have talked about in Leviticus here all this preparation for the priests to start their ministry. Today you're going to see they really start the ministry. The last chapter we talked about like the first 7 days of their consecration to ministry, their ordination, you might say. Today we're on the 8th day of this, and you're going to see all that's involved with these guys getting ready for ministry. So let's read here today from Leviticus chapter 9. It's entitled today, God's Preparation for Your Ministry May Be Lengthy. Okay, I want you to see here today how the preparation for the ministry that they were starting was a whole long process. Okay, it wasn't just something that took 5 minutes. And today, if God's calling you for ministry, it might take quite a while for you to get ready, and God's preparing you for that. Okay, it took me a while. Okay, I didn't wake up one day and go, "Oh, God's called me into ministry. I think I'll go start preaching now or something." No, it took me a while to do that. So, and I'm going to point out some other people that it took a while also that are here in the Bible. So let's read here today. This is Leviticus chapter 9, and we're going to read the whole chapter here. It says this: On the 8th day, Moses summoned Aaron and his sons and the elders of Israel. He said to Aaron, "Take a bull calf for your sin offerings and a ram for your burnt offerings, both without defect, and present them before the Lord. Then say to the Israelites, take a male goat for your sin offering, and a calf and a lamb, both a year old and without defect, for a burnt offering, and an ox and a ram for the fellowship offering to sacrifice before the Lord, together with a grain offering mixed with olive oil, for today the Lord will appear to you." They took the things Moses commanded to the front of the tent of meeting. And the entire assembly came near and stood before the Lord. Then Moses said, "This is what the Lord has commanded you to do, so that the glory of the Lord may appear to you." And you're going to see at the end of the chapter, the glory of the Lord appears. But there was a whole long preparation, and this is just the beginning of that preparation. Verse 7, Moses said to Aaron, "Come to the altar and sacrifice your sin offering and your burnt offerings, and make atonement for yourself and the people. Sacrifice the offering that is for the people, and make atonement for them, as the Lord commanded." So Aaron came to the altar and slaughtered the calf as a sin offering for himself, and his sons brought the blood to him, and he dipped his finger in the blood and put it on the horns of the altar. The rest of the blood he poured out on the base of the altar. And on the altar he burned the fat and the kidneys and the long lobe of the liver from the sin offering, as the Lord commanded Moses. The flesh and the hide he burned up outside the camp. Then he slaughtered the burnt offering. His sons handed him the blood, and he splashed it against the sides of the altar. They handed him the burnt offering piece by piece, including the head, and he burned them on the altar. He washed the internal organs and the legs and burned them on top of the burnt offering on the altar. Aaron then brought the offering that was for the people. He took the goat for the people's sin offering, and he slaughtered it and offered it as a sin offering, as he did the first one. He brought the burnt offering and offered it in the prescribed way. He also brought the grain offering and took a handful of it and burned it on the altar, in addition to the morning's burnt offering. He slaughtered the ox and the ram as the fellowship offering for the people. His sons handed him the blood, and he splashed it against the sides of the altar. But the fat portions of the ox and the ram, the fat tail, the layer of the fat, and the kidneys, and the long lobe of the liver, these they laid out on the breast, and then Aaron burned the fat on the altar. Aaron waved the breasts and the right thigh before the Lord as a wave offering, as the Lord commanded. Aaron lifted, so he did all the stuff he did. Notice a lot of sacrifices, and then they splashed the blood on the altar and at the base of the altar. Quite a bit, okay? I estimate, just with reading through this here, you're looking like a day of sacrifices before you even get started here. Verse 22, Then Aaron lifted his hands toward the people and blessed them, and having sacrificed the sin offering, the burnt offering, and the fellowship offering, he stepped down. Moses and Aaron then went into the tent of meeting. When they came out, they blessed the people, and the glory of the Lord appeared to all the people. Fire came out from the presence of the Lord and consumed the burnt offering and the fat portions of the altar. And when all the people saw it, they shouted for joy and fell face down. Okay? So after all this preparation, the glory of the Lord came, and the people were awed, and they fell face down in front of it. Okay? What I want you to see here is this, that I just read through 24 verses, and it gives you great detail as to all the preparation that was taking place for them to start the ministry and for the glory of the Lord to appear. When God calls you to ministry, it takes some time for that to happen, the training that he wants you to go through. And for each person, it's different, okay? But the preparation that God has called you to, okay? Now, Moses, he was like, Moses thought, oh, he's ready to lead God's people. And he thought, he's the man. And turned out God had other plans for him and sent him into the wilderness for years and years and years to prepare him to lead God's people, okay? That brought about a great humility. He started out all cocky, like, oh, yeah, I'm the man for this. And God sent him into the wilderness, and he came back from the wilderness experience a very humble man, okay? Saul, who later became Paul, is another person that when he was converted, when you read through Acts, you're like, he just started ministering, and all these things were happening. No, he was actually, he got converted, and then he went away for a time period and spent time in just discipleship, learning from others about Christianity. So there was time for his preparation too. And many other characters you read in the Bible here, they spent a good amount of time just in preparation for ministry. Okay, even Jesus himself didn't start his ministry till he was 30 years old. Okay, he wasn't an 18-year-old guy who just started going walking around teaching people. He was 30 years old when that happened. So my encouragement for you, it's going to take a while sometimes for your preparation for ministry, but stick with it. It takes a while, but that's what God has called you to, and it may be a lengthy process, but God is molding you into the person he wants you to be, into that leader he wants you to be. And that's what was happening here. He was molding these priests into the leaders they needed to be. And you're going to see in the next chapter, they still had some work to do because some of these guys got off on their own ideas here. So anyway, be encouraged. God's preparation for your ministry may be lengthy. Hey, thanks for watching. I'm just a regular dude walking in the Word, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow as we continue our journey through Leviticus. Lord's blessing. I'll see you then.